Hi, I'm Kristen Oaks-White.
And I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week. Well, the sign reads high water, and in my story last week, I talked about the struggle farmers are having across the state getting their corn into the ground. In that story, we talked about the rising backwater at Wiggers Farms. Here is some of that video from a couple of weeks ago.
Now the Boeuf River has crested at 57.4 feet. Here's what that same field looks like. This week, TWILA's Karl Wiggers shows us the depths another Franklin Parish farmer is going to get his corn crop planted.
Greg Kincaid is headed for high water, but luckily it's not in his fields. It's just making it very difficult to get to his fields. He's not just trying to get to his back 40 either. This 300-acre farm is a major part of Kincaid's farm.
This is some of my better land. It's all irrigated. I just really can't afford to leave a third of my crop out. I mean, I have crop insurance, but I'd much rather have a crop than rely on the insurance.
That very thing happened in 2016 when the high water and constant rains kept him from planting on this land. So now, while there's a break in the rain this week, it's time to wade through the waters to get this crop in the ground.
Unless something changes, from the predictions with the Corps, none of the land back here should go under, so what we plant should be fine, and hopefully the water will be down where we can get in here and fertilize it and get it worked out after we get it planted.
This is not the first time for Kincaid to plant in these conditions. 2016 wasn't even his first experience with high water around this land.
We went through this in 1991. We had a pretty big flood in 91, and then there were two wooden bridges on that road, and we didn't trust those at all. And I moved the tractors back here before the water got very deep, and we wound up having a boat in to plant cotton. We boated in seed and chemicals to plant 300 acres back here that year, and so it's not our first go-round with this. So.
Farming near the Boeuf River takes some understanding of Mother Nature. Kincaid explains that he could not risk waiting on this backwater to come down before he planted this year's crop.
That was the thing, while I had this window to get in here, if I waited 7 to 10 days for the water to fall some, it still wouldn't be off the road. If we had a rain during that time, then it may be too wet to plant back here. So I'm just trying to take advantage of this dry spell to get it planted.
I spoke with Greg this morning, and yesterday he planted around 95 acres. At that rate, he should be finished planting by the time that this story airs. What Kincaid and other farmers along the Boeuf River need now is for the river levels to drop and stay down for the summer. And Avery, Kristen, it's kind of freaky going to Mom and Dad's farm and seeing what that water looks like. Dad says it looks about 4 feet different than 2016, but it doesn't look that different in my eyes. It's a lot of water on top of a lot of rows of corn, and some of it's already planted. I went to the same place I went actually in 2016, and I saw the exact same looking image.
In Vidalia along the Mississippi River, just on the other side of the levee, all of those fields are slowly filling up with seepage water. So it's a very same scenario from 2016 and 2011, which hopefully it will not get that bad.
Yeah, I remember whenever we went out there and shot the show, you were standing there and it looked like there were white caps in a field.
There were, pretty much.
Yeah, in a field, because it was windy and blustery that day. I mean, that's got to be a pain for your dad to have to go through all of this again.
Yeah, and I didn't really speak to Dad too much about it because it's kind of a sore subject for farmers, but I noticed as I was out there filming, I wanted to get some natural sounds, some sounds of the water crashing into the rows, and I looked, and you can see the water is just carving out rows of corn. You can see I saw the edge of, little bitty root systems of corn that's this tall, and it's kind of like, that's not supposed to happen in a cornfield.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting how it turns out in the next few weeks, and I think the rivers are going to start maybe easing down now, so we can hope for a drier summer.
Yeah, a dry spring too to finish it out. Karl Wiggers, thanks.